We got a bullpen of video refs out here.
We
PPA
do.
tour.
Deep. It's deep.
Here we go.
First serve on its way, folks. Here we go. Men's doubles finals. Nice clean flick by Ben Jones right there, right down the line for the point.
It's a ball we normally would expect Ben to make, but it's early in the match.
That's got to be frustrating for Riley Newman, knowing that he could get to a ball, but because of the court layout, he actually cannot.
Been waiting for an opportunity to say tomahawk. That was kind of a tomahawk.
Well, he'll just opt for the left hand instead.
Nice start for the Johns brothers. 1-0 and got the ball back.
That's a very short return by Matt Wright. Interesting choice by Ben to just dink that ball across court.
It was so short it was almost difficult to drive the ball in that position because Riley and Matt probably are going to let that go. I think that's exactly what we talked about him. You know,
Speeding up at
warm
Ben,
they
right.
Speed up at Ben. Matt's ready for the 1-2. Exactly how they want to play.
Just coming in from the baseline a little too hard on that volley. Matt Wright's probably got to reset that ball, but if it's a little higher, I think he can do something with it.
Played with him the other day. I saw him make that shot a lot, though, so I like the aggressiveness.
I think everybody in the building thought that ball was going to go towards Riley, except Ben, and that was a good spot at Matt's feet.
Really nice point there. Collin sliding off the court, 2 or 3 balls.
Great counters by Collin there, and then a good finish by Ben for sure.
Beautiful, Ernie. That's just too good by Riley there.
Yeah. Uncharacteristic mix by Riley there. I wonder if he just lets Matt take that backhand maybe. And then
That's a clean winner in pickleball there.
it
It's tough
happens.
to do.
You know, our earlier matches with this wind, these guys trying to place these balls away from the opponents as well as deal with the wind. Sometimes just a little bit tougher.
That felt like a perfect drop off the paddle.
It looked good for the first 40%, and then that wind said, not today.
It's a good adjustment by Riley there. Instead of even trying to make it, he saw Collin sliding, just went higher up into Collin's body.
Ben and Collin having a quick word about something they see.
A lot of in-game adjustments between these 4 players.
Collin leaving the ground with those feet there. Do you think he's got to leave the ground with those feet for that reset?
I think he thought I was coming a little harder, but I think it was just a little bit of a miss hit there. Riley trying to fire himself up here. Riley's tough to play because he drives about every third. Puts a lot of pressure on you. Doesn't really miss them, just 40–50% drives. Makes you hit the, we'll play the fifth into the kitchen.
That's a great heads-up play by Matt Wright right there, working both opponents, having them guess where he's going to go with that last ball.
Hard to tell where he's going.
Riley seems to be having a lot of success with those higher, shorter dinks right now with that wind helping him out, pushing the ball back into the net.
Yeah, and Riley's and Matt's hands are so good that he doesn't mind putting those dinks there. They trust that if they get sped up on, they'll be okay.
Unlucky net cord there. Ben's on it.
And I'm surprised that Ben didn't speed up one of those balls. He had 3 or 4 dinks that I would have maybe liked to see him flick something. And when Matt got his one opportunity, he took it.
So far it seems like Newman and Wright can win the points if they can make 3 or 4 more balls bounce, but if it's going to get a faster point, Ben and Collin seem to be there early on. Good leave there by Wright and Newman. Matt Wright with the emphatic scream after the 1-2-3 punch.
And a nice little stare down there right through Ben Johns. Not many people will do that, but love to see it. And that's kind of that ball that Ben just sped up there. I thought maybe a couple points ago when he's getting those short dinks, I would think with his offense and deception, he would take more opportunities like that. And maybe we'll see that going forward.
Matt Wright sitting on that ball, just not getting it the way he wants. Good shot, good speed up by Ben Johns.
It's a good eye. That's one of the most, probably one of the hardest skills in pickleball for
leaving the ball.
Leaving the ball. That ball missed by a foot. You got to make a split-second decision.
That's a good little punch by Matt Wright out in front on that ball. Following it across the court, knowing where that ball is going to go by Collin. Still a good amount of wind coming towards Matt Wright and maybe picked up in the last minute too, actually.
Yeah. It's blowing out here. And that's why Riley's that's a good example right there. Just kind of a 50% drive dipping forces Ben to hit a deep ball there and get a free point out of it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you can't hit down on Riley's drive. It's not fast, it's not hard, but you have to hit flat and deep. And it's working. Except that one.
Three errors in a row.
Seems like they got a little bit of a recipe over here.
Matt with a beautiful counter there.
That's that same ball that he missed a little deep earlier. He just hits it right on the money.
Straight down on the speed up that he's seen that a couple times. They've played.
Hey pickleball fans, do you love to win and compete? The PPA Tour is coming to Atlanta, Georgia, May 12th through May 18th. Whether you're chasing glory, testing your limits, or simply looking to compete at the highest level, there is no better stage than at a PPA tournament. Come show us what you've got. Don't miss your chance to compete, learn, and meet new pickleball enthusiasts. Register to play at ppatour.com or click the link.
This first game, Riley Newman and Matt Wright serving. Score is 7-4.
And Matt and Riley had a lot of success over the last, 5-6 points, just hitting drives, forcing Ben and Collin to hit deep fourth ball, 6 balls, and they've got 3 or 4 errors off it.
Really good adjustment by Riley Newman, but he can't quite finish. And Ben Jones there just to finish.
That's unlucky. Riley's pancake was sitting there waiting. Ben got the net cord, and Riley's ball didn't go over.
Unlucky on both sides sometimes, huh?
That's how it goes. That might have been one shot too early from Matt there. It's a little off the line. I like it when he's on the line hitting that shot, but off the line, Ben's hands are just too fast. And just like that, off the timeout, 8-8. And the errors we saw from Ben and Collin 5 minutes ago, the same errors are coming the other side now. And a lot of it is the wind. These are some uncharacteristic misses, right? Matt Wright down the line shot there. We normally would expect him to make that shot.
Yeah, we had the missed return, the missed flick.
I think a timeout's coming here soon. Surprised they're not calling timeout after those couple balls.
Wow. One thing I've noticed about Matt Wright and Riley Newman is they actually don't take a whole lot of timeouts on certain situations, especially towards the end of matches.
That was ridiculous hands by Ben Johns right there.
Great hands.
Wow. Riley said he saw that coming, which it appears he did with that counter. And that's just the win right there. The second he was set up to hit that shot, and
too much.
Ball blew a foot offline.
Collin's there for that ATP, but just
ATP defense, yeah, he's there. It's just
Gust of
it's
wind
tough.
right behind him on the reset.
9-10. No, that
That ball took a bounce off the center line right there, I believe. It did not come up at all.
game point number 2 for the Johns brothers.
A lot of patience by all 4 players right here.
Longest point of the match.
For those of you out there watching, dinking is not dead.
What a point both ways.
Great patience, all 4 players. Those are taxing points from a mental standpoint, folks.
Ben got a put away ball and missed it, and it's 9-10-1.
That ball's got to be sucking back into the net from the wind.
And we got another timeout here.
Definitely.
9-10-1. Newman and Wright just got 2 big stops.
I feel like Collin could have done a little bit more with that 4th.
So Riley's really got a lot of lane.
You got to hand it to Matt Wright. He's a great right side player that used to be a great left side player. He's doing a great job supporting Riley over there and finishing.
That's just too much Ben Johns. What
Yeah.
defense from Newman and Wright, even
That
to force
second
that.
get by Riley Newman, putting his hand on the rail while he hits the ball with his backhand. 11-10-2.
Game point number 2. That's
He
two
might-
game. That's 2
You might
games.
see that one in his sleep tonight.
There's 3 game points for the Johns brothers. 2 game points for the Newman Wright combo so far. 10-11.
Great play by Riley Newman right there.
It's really amazing. They're in there for 3, 4, 5, bang, 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 and then they can let that ball go. Very underrated.
That's a positional decision right there by Ben Jones. Knowing he's got them on the switch, taking advantage of Matt not quite getting over because the return's being short due to the wind right there. Smart play.
11-11. Oh, that's just too good. Another tough backhand. Game point number 4 for the Johns brothers. 12-11 too.
Wouldn't be surprised if I see a good 3rd shot drive here.
And a little extra from Matt right there. They ain't going anywhere this game, coach.
They're not quitting. They're not quitting.
And we got 11-12. This is a big first game mentally for both sides, you know, in a best of 5.
Nice counter by Ben John, staying home.
That was filthy. Riley was just covering middle, had to there. Little high, but not that high. Game point number 5, I think.
Right then when Raleigh takes that first ball, that is not to finish the point. He knows he's got Collin on his heels for the first attack and the second finish.
I mean,
real smart.
I think when Collin's sliding there, he's trying to get that a little more down, because if he doesn't get it down, Riley's getting exactly what he wants to, the 1-2.
Yep.
Another game point here for the Johns brothers.
Hey, pickleball players.
All coming off that good serve and third combo. Just a little too much pressure.
What a first game that we were just treated to.
Great first game.
It's a best of 5. That's only one.
You can play too. Face off against the best players in the country, pro or amateur. The competition is next level. This is like the NFL of pickleball, a chance to showcase your talent and play on the same courts as the best. When you're not playing, watch the world's best teams battle for first place, meet passionate players, and create lasting memories. This is your moment. Don't miss out. Come join us at Atlanta, Georgia on May 12th through the 18th. Register now at ppatour.com or click the link below.
All right, folks, we're back here for game 2. Players are switching sides. John's brothers up a game. Matt and Riley to serve. 0-0 start. Folks, so we'd have a shift change. Got a friend with me here, Clark. From where are you from again, Clark?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah,
Thanks
but
for having us.
Oh, of course. Living in St. Pete, Florida now, but super excited to be here with you, Ben.
Excellent. Johnson brothers doing their thing. So that's that third shot drive we've been seeing from Ben. He's usually crashing it after that. They found a way to get that fourth ball to Collin, but Ben still comes in on the 7th.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough ball to Wright's forehand there. He's got a super powerful shot. Serve's going to sail a little bit long. Huge confidence builder, though, Ben, I think, for the Johns brothers to grab that first game.
Oh, yeah. When you can win on that side, that's the side people have been winning on today.
Yep.
But when you can get that, that's the other side's actually the side people have been winning on, so I take that back. But when they get that offside win and get the first win, it's like a double up right there. Matt just closing a little too late on that volley.
Yeah, Riley tried to slide into the middle there. We know he's so well known for that, and it's just a well-placed ball down at the feet of Newman.
You know, it's breezy out here and it's not too hot, but we got a little sweat dripping from the brow of Ben Johns, and he's putting in some work, trying to control these points.
Yeah, that's all it takes, Ben, is just a dink 1-2 inches too high. These players are good enough to take advantage. too good from Riley. Still looks a little bit frustrated. I'm sure he and Wright are after that first game, but they've got to focus on just stepping it up in the second.
That's a good touch, good pace all the way down the line. Collin just watches as it lands in. You know, we saw a lot of that early on, or midway through the first game with that third shot drive where they were making some unforced errors on the Collin and Ben John side.
Oh, he just got out of the way of that one, didn't he, Ben?
That was the backup boogler right there. He got out of the way. What do you think about that? Collin John's a little forehand power finishing a point for the team.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. A little bit of a different look than we're used to seeing from the Johns brothers.
Stare down and the no-look clean down the middle winner off the dink battle. That's one of the slower points we've had since that one long dink rally towards the end of game one.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the energy and the fire that Matt and Riley are bringing.
Matt Wright can't quite get that reset.
And Collin may have even taken some pace off that ball, but again, it's more so about precision than power.
Fast points here, folks. Really fast points.
Yeah, what Matt, Riley, and Ben, I mean, what they all do so well is holding that paddle face into the very last second so as to disguise where they're going to go with it.
Mm-hmm. Early on in the program, we talked about keeping Ben Jones honest and playing at him, and I think that they've done just a good enough job to keep him honest in some of these points.
Yes.
But Ben's still going to be Ben. He's still going to do what he does.
Yeah, not a lot to separate these two sides thus far, and pretty much what we expected. Wouldn't be surprised if this goes 5. Unbelievable.
I can tell you right now, if Matt Wright and Riley Newman had won that point, you would have had a little bit of a needle move on the energy, and that could have probably translated to a few 2 more points possibly.
Oh, it's going to fall in.
Only with the wind in your face does that happen. Clearly both thinking it's going to go out.
Great hands by Matt, who's going to
much better leave there by Rally.
Show off his acrobatics at the end and hop the kitchen line.
Still got the footwork.
Yeah, again to the backhand side of Ben. You mentioned it before, but Matt's going to love going down that line. I think he's going to continue to pick that spot out as time moves on. In the pro men's doubles final.
Think about that finish there, Clark. That's a good combo by Collin.
Yeah,
Sitting on his own attack.
Yeah, no doubt. Ben, as you mentioned before, and for any of the viewers not actually here on site, it is fairly windy, and there is what tends to seem like a better and worse side. Most of these players, I think, tend to play into the wind versus with it.
Mm-hmm. All right, folks, so here's what happened. 5 rallies ago, Matt Wright gets the clean winner down the line. He gets the contested winner down the line, and now he's lost the winner down the line. So Ben is just growing into knowing that ball's coming. I mean, that's just the adjustments that these guys make.
Yeah.
Just learning on the move and being ready. Fascinating.
Yeah, and right now, Riley and Matt playing against the wind. Can hit the ball a little bit harder and it's going to stay in, whereas the Johns brothers have got to be careful because their balls are going to sail a little further.
Riley missing that ball standing on the center line. That's his spot. He doesn't think Ben can put that ball over there. He manages to do it.
Oh, thought it was going to trickle over, but I mean, great precision from all 4 players. I mean, every dink is hit with such a purpose, which is so fascinating to watch.
Johns did some damage on that service side. See if the Matt Wright rally Newman team can answer back. Much smarter third. I'm surprised to see Matt Wright drop the one before that. I would have thought they would have driven that. It's hard to hit those drops with the wind at your back. It's a great in and out move by Riley Newman right there, just hunting that ball off of Ben's paddle.
Yeah, I mean, so much relentless aggression from Matt Wright and Riley Newman at the moment. They're not really
9-7-2.
Great move by Ben. I
Great
may have
early
misspoken earlier. Wanted to clarify that Riley and Matt have the wind at their back at the moment, with the Johns brothers playing into the wind currently.
We got a little switch there with Matt Wright on the left side. A big forehand finish. And the classic unlucky net cord with the apology.
Yeah.
We all know too well.
Yeah, a little sorry, not sorry, Ben.
The second time that Matt Wright gets that clean winner down the middle. And that could be built up from having Ben own the line on some of those other shots right there. He's playing that chess game. Really
Yes.
smart. Game point number 1.
Marquette. And Ben, what a fantastic pro men's doubles matchup we've got for the fans in store on Championship Court here at the Oasis Pickleball Club.
So far, so good.
Wright Newman have split games with the Johns brothers. It's one apiece heading into the third. Yeah, we're going to see that all match long, fast exchanges at the net. With all four players being so skilled, it's going to be a very small margin of error.
Second time Matt Wright's a little bit late there on that backhand counter.
Yeah. Wow, and that ball hung up in the wind a couple times. You didn't even think it was maybe going to go over the net, but
Collin getting the third and the fifth to drop like that with this wind is insane touch.
the move from Ben was a smart one, just couldn't quite execute, and Newman and Wright to serve. Yeah, Ben left it a little too high there, didn't he?
They're keeping Ben Johns honest on that side over there, and then they're forcing Collin to cover the middle with the backhand. I think that's going to be a great recipe for that team.
That's a well-placed ball. And like you said earlier, the advantage to keeping Ben honest, to going down his line, is now you've got them thinking which way is the ball going to come. So it opens up a few more ideas and angles for Wright and Newman.
That's an insane attempt at a reset as he's falling backwards at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And everybody winning with the wind at their back right now, which was the opposite of the ladies' doubles match.
Yeah, and I think the extra pace that the wind at the back of now the Johns brothers is providing is certainly helping and giving them a slight advantage, especially with how aggressive both these teams like to play.
They are clearly just taking it to them. Yep. Ball's bouncing maybe one time once they get to the net, and then they're pulling the trigger, and it seems to be working. There's forced a timeout.
Yeah, I like the timeout. Really good opportunity for Wright and Newman to collect themselves, talk a little bit about what they could do differently. And to be honest, I don't think it's much. I mean, again, not a lot of flaws in either team's game at the moment. It's going to be a
thing.
Oh, here we go. Game 3, the Pro Men's Doubles Final.
Oh, Ben knows it's over before it is.
Yeah, turns his back. Probably smart. I wouldn't have wanted to gotten hit in the eye. Or another unfortunate spot. Yeah, but he responds really well.
Methodic close on the third, the fifth, and the seventh by Ben Johns.
Great spot by Ben. You know, the crazy thing is a lot of those shots are actually sailing out, but they hit their attacks with such precision that Wright and Newman don't have any time to get out of the way.
Definitely. Good adjustment, putting Matt on the left side and seeing if he can go down the line on Collin. Trying to keep the ball out of the middle right now.
Yeah, you can see what Collin was trying to do, trying to duck down and almost pancake that ball, just too much pace on it. Great spot from Ben. Another thing that these players do so well, and of course this is just an endless list, Ben, but waiting for the ball to get to its apex before attacking, so they can have a better angle at a winner, or what we like to say is a body bag.
Right. A couple of uncharacteristic misses right there.
Yeah, a little shake of the head from Newman, but
game point right here at 10-1. Ben makes that shot in his sleep, but Matt finally gets that volley in the middle. Go where he wants it to go. Remember on that earlier play, folks, on the PPA Pro level, we have lets at the pro level. If it hits the net and lands in, it is a let and a redo at the PPA Pro Tour.
See if Matt and Riley can put some scoreboard pressure on the Johns brothers. String a couple points together here. Too good from Mr. Johns.
A couple of good resets there by Matt Rapp, but not quite enough.
A little ambitious there, but
Ball's a
he's
little
done it
deep
before.
and
I
a
mean,
little narrow for it. He can do it, but that's a tough one, especially in the wind at your face. Game point number 4, I believe.
too good from
There
Ben
it
and
is.
Collin. Bonded with a Game 2 win of their own, but the Johns brothers came back and said, let's go up 2-1, make you guys work for it, and they have. You're into the 4th game here, and that is a phenomenal angle from Ben Johns.
The Johns brothers just rolled through game 3, you know, and it'll be interesting to see if they can respond in kind over there on that good side with the win at their back for Matt and Riley.
Yeah, great hands, and they're going to
defense.
need a lot of that in this game if they want to survive, send it to a 5th. Ben and Collin looking determined to end it in 4 if they can.
It's real tough to keep that ball deep when the wind's at your back. They're trying to get that ball at the feet of Ben. It's just sailing a little bit. He's going to get attack after attack. Surprised we didn't see a finger wag on that one.
Yeah, I think we may see a few more points from the Wright Newman camp before we see some finger wags and some stare downs. Usually a reset Riley hits in his sleep. So they serve 0-1-2. Yeah, and Collin hit that dink a little deeper, hung it up a little. The thought behind that is actually getting your opponent to
Baiting.
speed it up so you can then counter. So it kind of works itself in a 1-2 punch sort of way. Wow.
That's a lot of wind.
Yeah.
You know, same wind that made Matt think that ball wasn't going to be as short as it was, but it baited him into attacking earlier.
Yeah, the wind is really gusting at this point in the match. Certainly a factor.
Everybody watching with bated breath, wondering if that ball's going to go over after the other 3 do.
Incredible point.
Great defense, but good finish by Matt and Riley.
Oh,
Wow. The game has just changed in the last minute. We've had 15 balls over 10 feet high. We haven't seen that all game, and here all of a sudden.
yeah, they're bringing the variety. Yeah, just a little too high off the Newman paddle, and John's brothers will eat that up to get the serve back. French fries on the scoreboard, Ben. Unbelievable.
Riley throwing his hands in the air after that net cord.
Yeah, he's clearly frustrated. We still got plenty of match to be played.
Wow, you got to hit 15 winners to get up, to get a side out almost.
Yeah, at this level, that's
Not
what
even
it
a point.
takes. And that can be mentally exhausting sometimes. And Matt and Riley asking if everything's correct, if they're in the correct spots, as they'll receive it 2-1-2.
And the net rolls their way that time. It's tough enough when you're playing a team like the Jones brothers for things to go against you. Agreeing every now and then it's just nice to catch a break.
Yep. And a little stare down there from
Yep.
Riley.
That third shot drive, fifth shot finish combo is working with the wind at his back now.
Yeah, signaling to himself to hit more centrally there, especially with the wind. Going to the lines is going to be just a little more difficult.
Oh, and then the other direction on the earner, they set that up. The first point of this game, he goes to cross court earner, and now he goes down the line. They're both looking to the left. Just heads up play by Ben Johns. Matt Wright sticking a solid fourth shot volley back at Collin for that. Rally. Oh. Another net cord. Just barely.
Yeah.
See their frustration on Newman's face.
You're kidding me. Get out of here.
What a firefight. Newman on the top side of that firefight for at least 3 of those strokes and still coming up short. That's just great hands by the Johns brothers.
Yeah, Matt let that dink a little too high, which really just started the attack from the Johns brothers and took advantage. Ben going for that dipping shot right into the kitchen that falls just a couple inches short. Collin says no, 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 and we talk about needing a partner that can tell you when to not hit out balls.
It helps.
Oh, Ben.
Uncharacteristic mistake there by Collin.
Yeah, Riley and Matt are going to have to get a couple points here on their serve when they can, especially trailing in this 4th game, which could be the final game.
Just not having any success getting to the net with the win at their back. They're going to have to hit some better thirds, some drives, you know, maybe put them on their heels with their serves, but it's just not happening right now. That's a great shot right there. Holding that shot, like you said earlier, holding that pad on, watching Ben float to the middle and then pulling him out wide. It's a great shot by Matt Wright.
Yeah, a combination of the win, maybe just a flat dink, didn't get under it quite as much as he wanted to, and Riley and Matt to get the ball back here, and what's a critical side-out service opportunity. Yeah, I think Matt asked Riley if it was out. Riley said, unfortunately,
Just out.
Yeah.
That started to shape up like one of those down the middle flicks that Matt had earlier.
Yep.
They never got the option. They're just not converting, you know? I mean, they're getting the ball, they're getting some side outs, but they're not converting. And then the Johns brothers getting 1 or 2 points a click.
Yeah,
it adds up.
They're going to have to get into the kitchen line, at least make the Johns brothers work for every point. Too good from Matty Wright.
Still got it. You know, most people don't talk about this. But he's got these guys by 10 years plus age-wise. You know, he's still in there fighting with these younger guys. It's impressive. He's been playing for years.
Yeah, I mean, speaks to his caliber, speaks to his mental fortitude. He was a college tennis player at the University of Michigan. Not too shabby of a background, Ben. That's going to just fall in. Heck, I'd even take Matt in 20 years. I mean,
same.
This guy plays so well.
I'm waiting for the call.
You and I both. Wow.
Just deep. Riley actually thinks the ball's going to stay in. It almost does, but it just sails deep after the 3rd attempt at the reset.
Yeah, Riley's got to be a little bit frustrated. I mean, how many points have we seen him get? 5, 6, 7 impossible resets back and then it not go his way.
You know, Riley likes that right side. He'll do it in his mixed matches all the time.
Yes.
They're just trying to figure out a way to just buckle through this and get some execution. They just can't seem to convert.
And they'll take those all day long. I mean, especially with the Johns brothers up a game.
A little miscommunication. I mean, they've managed to hold him for quite some time here. Held him at 5 for a while.
It's a nice cross-court dink battle between Riley and Collin with
Riley telling himself his speed up's too good. Gotta love the energy.
Yeah, the positive self-talk, right?
That first little flick Ben Jones has, never meant to be the winner, always meant to be the first of two.
Yes.
Clearly working.
They just came at it too much from the side, not underneath enough.
Trying to shape that ball with his whole body.
Yeah, it's going to go probably a ball's length long.
That's a tough one right there.
The Johns brothers take the lead here in this fourth game, 6-5-1. Unreal sequence.
All right, so Riley Newman misses a full swing attack and still has the presence of mind to recover, balance, and hit a quality aggressive dink.
Yeah, unbelievable concentration from Mr. Newman.
Oh, well, maybe he used it all up there. Or
Yeah.
maybe we jinxed him, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Either
either.
way, that's another point for the Johns brothers. Great leave by Matt Wright right there.
Yeah, a huge side out for Newman and Wright.
That's that chip away, though. 1 or 2 points by the Johns every time they get the ball lately. Let's see if they can answer right back.
Yeah, good talk. Well, I mean,
Riley
great playing
proclaiming
from
Collin has no backhand.
yeah, great playing from Matt and Riley, and a little bit of smack talk there at the end. Collin just staying composed and
And that's one interesting thing about pickleball is you can hear, see, feel your opponents.
yes.
And that's one of the things that draws us to this sport is how close in proximity you are to your adversary. It's very unique about the game.
Incredible point.
That's a momentum point right there. I would not be surprised with this timeout. Here we go.
Yeah, it's a good timeout from the Johns brothers. You knew a scream was the Oasis Pickleball Club that's hosting the PPA Tour, Baird Wealth Management Texas Open, and this is Pro Men's Doubles, the championship. It's the Johns brothers taking on Matt Wright and Riley Newman. It's Riley Newman's return sails into the net. They've got a chance here, Ben, up 8-7 in the fourth game. Can they send it to a deciding fifth?
Great patience by Ben.
Yeah.
Controlled out front attacks. Recoil ready for the next one. Collin just a little late on that last ball. A little high on his heels.
Yeah, again, great defense from Matt and Riley. Matt gets Ben again on that backhand side.
What do you think about that
Ben.
combo?
Yeah, I mean, we've
team
seen it
combo.
time and time again. It's working really well for them. Even when Ben is maybe expecting it, the pace off that Matt Wright forehand is just too good. Yeah, it was good talk from Collin.
For sure. Oh, they can't execute on that service. I just don't know if that drop shot with that win. I think he's better off with that third shot drive that he's been doing.
Yeah, I'd agree, and that's why we see a lot of players drive that third, is so they can have an easier fifth.
All he can do is watch. He's got the wind coming at him, the ball's floating, he thinks it's out, and it just lands in by a foot almost. Wow.
Yeah, the wind ate that drop up.
Yeah.
Matt and Riley with another chance here to extend the lead.
Once again, the drop shot's not paying off. No. Oh, that's a big one right there.
Yeah, costly mistake from the Johns brothers.
That's a good spot. You know, you give the middle up. Sometimes you want to squeeze middle. You go out wide on those overheads. It's always hard to know, but Ben puts that right where he wants to.
Yeah, perfectly placed. They'll get the ball back here. It's 7-9-1. So much pace and aggression.
Third
from
5-7.
Ben Johns.
3-5-7 combo. You know, he has that great 3-5-7. You know who else? A.J. Kohler with the lob attack finish. That's one of my favorite combos, but Ben's 3-5-7 drive is nice. Uncomfortable there. That's a bummer.
And even these guys are human.
It happens. Still charged up after that last point, I imagine.
Yeah. Unbelievable sequence. I mean, you're almost holding your breath just waiting for one of these four to speed it up, aren't you? And
statement point right there by Ben saying he's not going to back down.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, grab the popcorn. 9-9 in the fourth. Wow.
Oh, get a late game timeout by Matt and Riley.
Ben, just like that. And there it is, an aggressive play from Ben. Gives the Johns brothers the championship in exchange at the net. And
well, welcome back to center court, everyone, and what an epic match we just witnessed with these guys. You've seen this team so many times. They came out firing. You knew there were going to be no easy wins out here today. What did you know you need to bring?
Definitely a lot of energy, always energy with this team especially. And, you know, it's cold out here and it's windy, so not only energy but aggression. I think we wanted to assert ourselves for sure, attack a decent amount, especially off the thirds, and even the serve. You know, a lot of people say the serve isn't huge in doubles, but I think today it really proved to be a handy tool. So, yeah, just overall aggression and energy.
Well, I'm not sure how it feels for you guys on the court, but of course all of us love the drama, the tension, the words exchanged. Of course, the more banter, the better. You heard Riley saying he's counting the eye rolls from Ben on one of the changeovers. What do you guys do out there on the court? Does that fuel your competition?
Yeah, I mean, there are certainly words on the court. A pickleball court's pretty small, so you can certainly have some chatter back and forth. And it's always, for the most part, in good fun. And it's just part of business on the court, and it's competitive, and we don't mind it. And certainly it's okay to engage in it sometimes.
Well, guys, not to take away from this moment on the court, but we recently launched Vibe just this week, Vibe Pickleball League. You guys are both players that have entered your names in the draft. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I can say I'm very excited for what it holds. I think the team kind of format is something that interests players and spectators for sure. There's a lot of energy. There's something a little different in it than just a normal tournament. And I know there's great people behind it, and they're getting a lot of great people involved. So I'm really looking forward to what it's going to bring.
All right, guys, and with that, we're going to bring Kristen from Baird Wealth Management on court now to present your trophy. Kristen.
Hello. On behalf of Baird Wealth Management, we'd like to wish our men's doubles champions congratulations.